What if the fastest way to create instant pull isn't what you say, but what you refuse to fill with words? Imagine this. The room is noisy, attention is fragmented, everybody is pushing to be noticed, and you become the one person who doesn't chase attention, who lets silence work like gravity. That contrast alone makes heads turn. Stay with me, because in the next minutes, you'll learn a field-tested way to use silence to generate immediate attraction without acting weird, without playing games, and without pretending to be someone you're not. I'll give you precise timing cues, body language micro-moves, ethical boundaries, and a 7-day practice you can start tonight. If you've ever felt that talking more only made you less interesting, this is going to feel like switching on a hidden magnet inside your presence. Attraction responds to tension, contrast, and scarcity. Robert Greene describes power as the patient control of attention. Cialdini shows how scarcity amplifies perceived value. In social dynamics, your words are cheap when they flood the space. Your silence is expensive because it's rare. What you don't overshare becomes a frame. I am not here to impress. I am here to observe and choose. That frame is attractive because it signals internal abundance, standards, composure, and self-trust. In biology and psychology, humans orient to novelty and uncertainty. Silence introduces a slight uncertainty. What is he thinking? Why isn't he rushing to fill the air like everyone else? That uncertainty is not confusion, it's intrigue. And intrigue is the doorway to attraction. Before we go tactical, understand this principle. Silence is not absence. It's an active signal. There's dead silence, awkward, checked out, collapsing energy. And there's a live silence, intentional, steady, oxygenated. Dead silence is when you freeze, avoid eye contact, and let your body cave in. A live silence is when your chest is open, your breathing is slow, your eyes are relaxed and engaged, and your stillness says, "I'm comfortable here." You're not withdrawing, you're inviting. The feeling you want in your body is unhurried. The message you send is, "I choose my words because my attention matters." That subtext makes people lean in. You will generate attraction faster when your pauses carry warmth. Add micro-warmth to every silence, a slow inhale through the nose, an exhale that softens your jaw, a fractional smile in the eyes rather than on the lips, a nod that acknowledges but doesn't rush. Shoulders slightly back, sternum subtly lifted, chin parallel to the floor, feet grounded. Never let silence come with a frown, compressed lips, or darting eyes. A live silence is still, not stiff. It's receptive, not guarded. Start with timing. You need 3 levels of pauses. Level 1, the soft pause, half a second to 1 second to slow your tempo and let your words land. Use it at commas, after a name, or before you answer a simple question. Level 2, the weighted pause, 2 to 3 seconds, used after you say something meaningful or when someone finishes speaking. This pause says, "I actually heard you, and I'm considering my response." Level 3, the decisive hush, 4 to 5 seconds max in normal conversation, placed before you deliver a clear boundary, a confident statement, or a decisive change in direction. Longer than that risks awkwardness unless the setting is intimate and attuned. Count in your head if you must. 1, 2, 3. Then speak from your diaphragm. You'll notice people recalibrate to your pace. Control your first impression with the pre-frame pause. When you join a conversation, don't burst into speech. Enter the space, take a slow breath, survey the room for 2 beats, and then let your eyes land on the person you'll address. That tiny silence pre-frames you as a chooser, not a chaser. When you're asked the classic opener, "How's your night?" don't machine gun an answer. Smile with your eyes, soft pause. Enjoying it. Weighted pause. You? That micro-economy of words plus silence sends a signal of self-possession that is far more attractive than any over-caffeinated monologue. Now the heart of the method: talk less, say more, show choice. Use a 60-40 listening to speaking ratio as your baseline in the beginning. Attraction spikes not because you dominate, but because you regulate the rhythm. When they speak, maintain a live eye contact. No staring contest, just relaxed focus around the eyes, and let them finish. When you respond, use short sentences with clean ends. Drop your tone slightly at the end of statements, not upwards like a question, so your pauses feel grounded. Upward inflection plus silence reads as uncertainty. Downward inflection plus silence reads as certainty. Integrate the pregnant pause technique. This is where silence creates the stage for your words. Ask a curious, concise question. What made you pick this place? Then be quiet. Do not nod excessively. Do not fill with, yeah, totally. Minimal back channels. You're not interrogating, you're inviting a reveal. When they finish, don't pounce. Give one weighted pause. Then mirror back a distilled chunk of what they said in 5 to 7 words. You like places with intention. Another soft pause. Then add one concise insight or story-free detail about yourself that aligns with their value. I prefer places that make conversation easy. Now you've created a loop. Their share, your silence, your mirror, your understated reveal. That loop is addictive because it makes them feel seen and makes you feel selective. Use the triad of strategic silences. Before you speak, after you speak, and when you receive. Before you speak, you pause to collect and project authority. After you speak, you pause to let impact accumulate. When you receive, a joke, a tease, a compliment, you let a beat pass so you don't look hungry. Teased, smile with your eyes, slight head tilt, 1-2-second pause, then respond calmly. Complimented, hold eye contact for a heartbeat. Thank you, weighted pause, then redirect or escalate the conversation. The lack of immediate scramble communicates that you're used to receiving value. Match silence with stillness. Hands quiet at navel height, forearms relaxed, palms occasionally visible. Avoid jitter, glass gripping like a lifeline, or pocket fidgeting. Your stillness is a silent amplifier. When you do move, make it minimal and deliberate. A slow sip, a measured lean in to listen, then a smooth lean back while holding eye contact for half a second. Those micro movements wrapped in silence create cinematic presence. Think fewer, slower, cleaner. When you ask questions, choose depth over breadth. Replace, "What do you do?" diarrhea with a silence-friendly question that invites meaning. What part of your week felt the most alive? Ask, then shut up. Your silence gives permission. If they resist, don't rescue with a joke. Stay present. If they answer superficially, mirror one word that matters, alive, and let the pause do the work. Curiosity plus patience is rare. Rarity is attractive. Never weaponize silence. This is ethically grounded attraction, not manipulation. Silence becomes manipulative when you use it to punish, induce anxiety, or stonewall. The boundary is simple. If your silence disconnects and confuses, break it with clarity and warmth. If your silence invites and steadies, keep it. A stoic posture isn't emotional stinginess, it's emotional leadership. Calm, measured, and fair. You set the tempo so both of you can relax into it. Let's tighten your voice. Lower your speaking speed by 15%. Breathe out slightly before you speak to remove tension. Start sentences with air in your lungs, not tightness in your throat. Record yourself on your phone reading any paragraph, then play it back. Notice if your tone rises at the end of lines, if you rush, or if you fill space with like, basically. Replace fillers with silence. Silence is cleaner than filler and signals that your words are chosen, not spilled. Practice this. Speak one sentence, soft pause, one sentence, weighted pause. You will feel the urge to rush. Do not. That urge is the muscle you're training. Now, frame control. Attraction follows the strongest frame, and silence is frame control without aggression. When someone pushes you into their frame, so are you one of those guys who don't defend? Smile in the eyes, slow blink, decisive hush for 2 seconds, then respond with a playful reframe that doesn't justify, "I'll let you figure that out." Weighted pause. Hold eye contact. Change topic with a question that asserts your curiosity. What surprised you most today? You stayed light, you didn't explain yourself, and you steered the ship. That is magnetic. Use silence to install boundaries without confrontation. If someone interrupts repeatedly, don't escalate your volume. Go silent mid-sentence. Hold a calm gaze. And when they trail off, simply finish your thought at the same pace. No edge, no apology. The contrast will train the dynamic. If someone asks something you're not ready to answer, pause, breathe, and say, "I'll tell you later." Weighted pause. Continue. You protected your mystery without drama. Mystery is not secrecy, it's pacing. Pacing is everything. In groups, silence is your advantage. Most people fight groups with more volume. You'll command them with less. Stand at a slight angle to the group with open posture. When you speak, wait for the air to clear, silence it with your presence, then deliver your line. If someone tries to overlap, stop gently and let the silence make them aware. When you're not speaking, look at the current speaker like they're the only person that matters, but keep peripheral awareness. When you laugh, underlaugh. When you agree, nod once. Minimal displays signal inner calibration. The group will start to glance at you for cues, and the most perceptive person in the group will pick up your gravity first. Gravity draws. Texting and digital silence. Don't confuse silence with ghosting. Silence here is the spacing that protects your intrigue and signals life. In early exchanges, keep your messages shorter than theirs by a notch, with clean punctuation. Never switch into essay mode. If they send a paragraph, reply with 1 to 3 lines that deliver signal, not fluff. Use the same timing levels. Soft pauses for read receipts off. Weighted pauses before answering a loaded question. Decisive hush when you need to end an exchange on a high note. Delay can create tension, but only if the message has substance. If you delay a bland LOL, you just look inattentive. Say less, say better, space it out. End a good exchange at a peak, not when it fizzles. I have to go. This was fun. Full stop. Scarcity works when the value was felt. Practical friction. Pre-commit to silence. When you feel the urge to over-explain, breathe in for 4, out for 6. Touch your thumb to index finger, tiny anchor, and hold eye contact. Do not rescue the moment. This urge gap lasts 2 seconds. Train it repeatedly, and you'll stop hemorrhaging attraction at the moments that matter. Silence is the dam that turns your attention into a focused stream instead of a flood. Compliments and silence. If you offer a compliment, be concise, then shut up. That color suits you. Weighted pause. Look away for a moment, then resume normal conversation. The pause keeps it grounded. Over-explaining cheapens it. If you receive a compliment, say, "Thank you." Hold the gaze a beat, then ask a question that expands the interaction. Silence makes both giving and receiving feel unforced. Use silence to escalate presence without touching. The eyes carry 1,000 tiny messages. Keep your gaze at the triangle of the eyes and bridge of the nose most of the time. Occasionally, drop to the lips for a fraction of a second during a weighted pause after something playful, then return to the eyes. That single nonverbal beat framed by silence is often enough to introduce subtle romantic tension without any words. Do not overdo this. Once or twice in an early conversation is plenty. More becomes heavy-handed. When the energy spikes, let it breathe. If they share something vulnerable, don't jump into advice mode. Listen. Mirror a key feeling in 1 or 2 words, frustrating, exciting, brave, and give it space. Silence is respect. Respect is attractive. If guidance is invited, offer it concisely and ask for permission to go deeper. The person will associate your presence with clarity and calm, and that association is the seed of long-term attraction. Use the pause point pivot formula for confident statements. First, pause. Second, make your point in 1 sentence with downward inflection. Third, pivot with a question or a new thread. Example, soft pause. I prefer places where we can actually hear each other. Weighted pause. Have you noticed how rare that is? The pivot keeps the moment interactive. The pauses keep it authoritative. Cut the worst habits. Do not stack disclaimers. Do not layer kind of, sort of, maybe, I guess, on top of every thought. Replace them with silence. If you disagree, don't rush to preface with apology. Take a breath. I see it differently. Weighted pause. Provide 1 reason. Here's why. Decisive hush. Then open the floor. You'll be respected more because you didn't dilute yourself. Anchor your body to the environment. Use stillness against a solid object. A bar edge, a high top, a column. Rest a forearm lightly to keep your gestures economical. When standing, imagine a string pulling the crown of your head up. When sitting, take the space you need and slow your movements. Your environment becomes part of your silence when you stop fidgeting and start inhabiting. Now the ethics and the edge. Silence can be intoxicating. People will project fantasies onto you because you're not over-explaining. Your responsibility is to match your restraint with clarity when it matters. If someone misreads your silence as disinterest and you're actually interested, say it plainly. I enjoy this. Weighted pause. Let's grab coffee next week. If you're not interested, don't hide behind silence. Be kind and direct. I appreciate the conversation. I'm going to mingle. Decisive hush. Step away with warmth. Power without kindness curdles into cruelty. You're here to create attraction, not confusion. Advanced, silent compliance tests. These are micro-calibrations that tell you if the interaction is mutual, without pushing. When there's rapport, gesture toward a quieter spot with your eyes and a micro-nod, then step a half pace and pause. If they follow, you've got a green light to deepen. If they don't, return calmly, no ego bruise, and continue light conversation. Offer your hand after a shared laugh, palm relaxed, and pause. If they take it, you hold for a beat and release first. If they don't, you don't comment. The silence protects dignity on both sides and gathers data without pressure. If you feel anxiety rise, use the Stoic reset. Seneca would tell you to separate what you control from what you don't. You control your breath, your posture, your pauses. You don't control someone else's reactions. Take one slow breath. Remind yourself, I'm not here to perform. I'm here to perceive. And let your silence be the expression of that. The most attractive men are steady because they are rooted in what they can govern. Train with the 2-second rule. For the next week, before answering any question, wait 2 seconds. It will feel like forever at first. In reality, it's a blink, and it transforms your vibe. It removes the anxious rush and installs executive energy. Combine it with the name anchor. When someone says your name, do a soft pause, then answer. You've trained your nervous system to normalize leadership timing. Develop silent charisma with micro-expressions. Slight eye smile when they reveal something they care about. A slow eyebrow lift when something surprises you. A subtle head tilt when you're curious. All delivered without immediately shoving words into the space. These signals tell the other person you're engaged, present, and selective. Selective attention is sexy because it implies discernment. Let's build your 7-day silence protocol. Day 1. Conscious breath and pace. Every conversation, reduce your speed by 15% and apply the soft pause at every comma. Day 2. Removal of filler. Record 3 minutes of yourself talking about your day. Identify your top filler word and replace it with 1 beat of silence. Day 3. Question plus pregnant pause. Ask 2 meaningful questions in your interactions and let the weighted pause pull depth. Day 4. Decisive hush practice. Choose one moment to assert a boundary or preference using the 4 to 5 second hush before your sentence, then deliver with downward inflection. Day 5. Group calibration. In any group conversation, speak less but with cleaner timing. Wait to deliver lines in the quiet. Day 6. Digital pacing. Keep messages concise, end an exchange at a peak, and introduce a purposeful gap before you switch platforms or propose logistics. Day 7. Review and refinement. Journal. What changed? Did people lean in more? Did they share more? Did you feel less pressure? Keep the gains. Adjust the timings. Build attractive silence into logistics. When you propose plans, do it cleanly and then stop. I'm free Thursday at 7. There's a new place with good lighting and quiet music. Weighted pause. Do not append. But if that doesn't work, totally fine. I'm flexible. We could also... That's panic typing. Propose, pause, let them respond. If they counter, choose. If they hesitate, don't chase with 5 alternatives in one breath. Give it space. You'll be surprised how often people step into the space you respect. Learn the silent reset for overtalkers. If you catch yourself spiraling into ramble, end the sentence cleanly. That's the gist. Weighted pause, smile, pivot back with a question. You recover the frame without awkwardness. This single move will save you from self-sabotage more than any other. Blend silence with playful tension. Use clean teases that land because you leave room around them. Your trouble. Soft smile. Weighted pause. In a good way. The pause holds the tease without sharpness. The quick add clarifies tone. Always read the room. If their eyes soften and posture opens, continue. If they retract, lighten and shift topics. Silence makes you more sensitive to microfeedback because you're not drowning it out with your voice. Use silence to create highlight moments. When the music dips or the environment gives you a natural pocket of quiet, don't rush to fill it. Lock in, breathe, let the moment stretch, and deliver a line that matters. I like this. Weighted pause. It's easy to talk to you. Done. No paragraph. What matters is the felt sense, not the syllable count. Master the silent yes and silent no. Silent yes. Widen your stance a touch. Square your chest. Give steady eye contact. Minimal nod. Lips relaxed. Silent no. Exhale. Soften your gaze. Angle your torso away by 10 degrees. Reduce nods to 0, and let the next natural pause carry the message. People feel these without you having to justify. Use words if clarity is needed. Use your body first. Upgrade your listening so silence doesn't turn into drift. Listen for values, not data. When someone speaks, catch the value hidden inside. Freedom, beauty, mastery, connection, novelty, peace. Mirror the value with one word. Then pause. Freedom. Watch what happens. People deepen when they feel their values recognized. That's the moment attraction starts to bond to identity, not just vibe. Remember, composure is not coldness. Keep your warmth channels open. Tone, eyes, micro smile, occasional playful line, so your silence feels like a chair being pulled out for someone, not a door being shut. If someone tells you, "You're quiet," don't defend. Soft pause. I like noticing things. Weighted pause. What did I miss? Now quiet becomes a feature, not a flaw. Install the silent close. When you've had a great exchange, don't overstay. End on a high. I'm stepping out. Let's continue this Thursday. Weighted pause. Hold eye contact. Smile. Then go. That exit, wrapped in silence, lingers longer than any 10 extra minutes of small talk. Ending well is as powerful as beginning well. If you're naturally talkative, don't try to become a stone. Aim for clean, punctuated speech. Think of silence as the baseline under your melody. You'll still be colorful, but now your words have rhythm and weight. If you're naturally quiet, don't hide. Add warmth and intention so your silence reads as choice, not fear. The difference is posture, breath, eye contact, and the willingness to ask one or two meaningful questions. When conflict appears, silence is your shield and scalpel. Shield. Don't react. Breathe. Hold. Don't mirror their speed. Scalpel. Cut to the essence with one sentence. I hear you. Here's what matters to me. Weighted pause. Then negotiate specifics. People escalate when they feel unheard. Your silence at the right time makes room for de-escalation and mutual respect, which paradoxically heightens attraction because you've proven you can lead under pressure. Embed one daily environment practice. Pick one public space where you usually scroll or fidget. Stand still for 3 minutes. Breathe slowly. Look around without darting. Let your face be calm. Develop comfort in public stillness. This baseline shifts everything. When you can be still alone, you can be still with anyone. Your nervous system becomes a calm anchor, and calm anchors draw people who are tired of chaos. To close this training, memorize 3 moves you can use tonight. First, the 2-beat entrance. Walk in, 2 beats of scanning silence, then engage. Second, the pregnant pause question. 1 meaningful question, then hush and receive. Third, the clean close. End on a high with a simple plan, pause and exit. Wrap these in warmth, carry yourself with deliberate stillness, and you'll watch the room change around you. You don't need 1,000 lines. You need a calibrated presence, a few clean sentences, and the courage to let silence do what performance never can. Practice the 3 levels of pauses. Install the 7-day protocol. Strip fillers and replace them with oxygen. Choose your moments instead of chasing them. The masculine edge is not loud, it's lucid. The more you master silence, the more people will feel that being with you is easy, vivid, and rare. If you want more high-level training like this and drills that hardwire calm magnetism into your nervous system, apply what you just learned tonight and then come back. I'll show you the next layer.